Hey everybody, welcome to Cut and Dry. This is episode 4. It's 10 o'clock on a Saturday, and I just woke up, so...
Way to go.
Yeah.
PM.
PM. Yeah, so I was going to recap the episode, but honestly, if you want to know what happened last week, just go listen to it. I'm tired of trying to recap stuff, because Aeryk just never sticks on one topic, so...
Wow.
Let's get number 4 started here. I'm your host, Tim, with Will.
What up, motherfuckers?
John. And Aeryk.
Also, John's a staple.
He'll be around.
Hey, I need a nighttime job, even though I work at night now. But it's something I'm glad to be a part of, like I said last week.
Just so you know, we make a lot of money doing this, so...
Oh, absolutely. You're definitely becoming a little regular, for sure.
Yeah, man, all these beer cans I have.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
God.
We don't drink.
Nah, we just opened the podcast with cracked beer.
We actually cracked the beer and poured out.
We just wanted the 10 cents out of it.
How else is the dog going to drink?
True.
It's not my dog.
With their tongue.
Facts.
So, actually, let's just jump right into this. I want to ask Aeryk, since he's our leading expert, how was last week's episode of Gossip Girl?
What? I don't fucking know. No, it was terrible. No, I'm kidding. I really don't know.
No, alright, no, seriously.
Anywho,
I thought listening to this podcast, this Gossip Girl thing was a joke.
No, it was legitimate, but I don't watch it anymore.
It's
Fuck
fine.
Tim.
It's fine, man.
No, alright, no,
Don't
seriously.
judge me.
No.
Bill's character.
Let's seriously, alright. The first thing I do want to get into is Antonio Brown. Because I talked about Antonio Brown last week, and I said that I'd be willing to send Marvin Jones in a first round over to Pittsburgh to get Antonio Brown. I asked, a lot of people know who Sandman is. If you don't know who Sandman is, you probably never watched a Lions highlight video on YouTube ever, because he makes highlight videos and they're pretty good.
Yes.
I tweeted him and I asked his opinion, because I feel like he's actually really knowledgeable, and he said that Antonio Brown's not worth the number 8 pick. What do you?
I agree. I don't think
You don't think Antonio Brown's worth?
I do not.
I cannot say that he's not worth a 8th overall pick, because talent-wise, he for sure is.
Mm-hmm.
But what just has been released of what he is saying and wanting to get out with the whole comments about Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, about being
who is I mean
God damn it.
No.
We can't say that? We can't say rapist?
I mean allegedly already.
Allegedly. My bad. Asterisk. Allegedly.
Hashtag Kobe. But with that being said, especially in this day and age with these quarterbacks getting all this money, the quarterbacks run the show just like a star player in any other sport.
Quarterbacks run the show no matter what. It doesn't matter. Peyton Manning was on your team. He was your offensive coordinator. He went to the GM's office and said, I want this person, I want that person, cut this person. That's it.
But that's not, I don't think he's going in that direction.
I'm not going in that route. I'm going into the sense of, do you want that type of player? Because we argued about quarterbacks calling out players in the media.
Yeah.
Now, as a wide receiver or just any other position player on the team,
to be attacking your
quarterback because
character?
you're saying the quarterback has a owner's mentality.
I think he's trying to create a situation where Pittsburgh just wants to get rid of him.
Yeah, but you're also creating a situation where everybody's looking at you as such a diva and a crybaby now.
I don't think so. I think the players know each other well enough to know the business side of everything.
Yeah, but that's the players knowing each other. We're talking about owners trying to send draft picks to players.
All right, here's my point, though. If I'm telling you the Lions are going to draft a wide receiver at the 8th overall pick.
Hopefully it's that guy that picture leaked out from Ole Miss, because that guy is a fucking animal.
Who is it?
I think it's DK McLeaf from Ole Miss. Dude's huge. I'm just saying. I seen the picture.
No, but
they had 5 guys in this picture from working out, getting ready for the combines and everything like that, and workouts. He was the biggest guy there, and there was defensive linemen in the picture, I believe. So,
The one thing is so I'm thinking if I told you that the Lions are getting a receiver at 8, you're telling me if Antonio Brown was willing, if it was screw Marvin Jones, if it was Pittsburgh's we'll take your 8th pick, here's Antonio Brown, you're guaranteeing yourself a Pro Bowl wide receiver.
Facts.
That might be on the decline of his career. Might be.
Potentially. But he's proven, Antonio Brown's proven time and time again, with a good quarterback, he is good.
Right, with Ben.
Yeah.
He's only had one quarterback.
Ben has made has made his receivers.
Yeah.
Ben, Santonio Holmes, Mike Wallace.
But there has to be something that says
Antonio
those receivers
Brown.
are good.
Yeah, and what happened when they left? Exactly.
Ben Roethlisberger's an elite quarterback.
Yes.
San Antonio Holmes, I mean, he did well with and without the Steelers.
Those are good.
When he went to the Jets,
he did all right.
He did all right.
He wasn't Mr.
Yeah, but they're
Clutch
also
corner
near the end
Super
of their
Bowl.
career.
You're near the end of your career. I mean, that's gonna.
Is AB not towards the end of his career?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
The way he's
He's got another
utilized,
5
the way
years,
he's
I think.
utilized, no.
I think
He's
he's got 5 more
the
years.
type of wide receiver that can play into his
How old is he?
easily
31?
mid-30s, late.
I thought it was 32
late
or 33.
How old is Antonio Brown?
Oh, fuck.
So-
I got you.
I'm just saying, like, don't get me wrong. A talented player like he is or possibly was, definitely, the Lions need something like that on the roster. But are you willing to give up a younger player like Marvin Jones and a first-round pick that's all potential?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's only 30, so I'm definitely taking AB.
How many wide receivers that go in the first round pan out every time?
I mean, I don't have that statistic off the
You
top of my
know what?
head.
But it's easy to a lot of the receivers that come out. I mean, yeah, it's easy to say, oh, this guy's a stud, but sometimes they're not. You're taking that risk. Antonio Brown is a stud.
You don't know if he's still going to continue.
You can say that about any single
That's
person
what
going
you
into
can
the next
exactly
year.
say that about everybody. So I mean, you're still going out. You taking in Antonio Brown and you drafting a player, you're still taking the same amount of risk because you don't know what they're going to do that year.
Yeah, but Antonio Brown's more.
AB is proven. I said, he's proven, but he's proven with Ben. Can he do it without Ben?
I know what you mean. I think he can.
Why? So we can agree that Antonio Brown is great talent.
100%.
Facts.
100%.
But we can all agree also that the same style of play by Antonio Brown takes it to another level is what we had in Golden Tate.
Yeah, but you lose Golden Tate. He can't do everything Antonio Brown does.
But why not keep your eighth overall pick
And bring Golden Tate back.
Bring Golden Tate back.
Does he want to come back?
I think he does.
I wouldn't see. I don't see why he wouldn't. Seeing that the gratitude that he gave Detroit as he was on his departure to Philly, because I feel like it was almost as flippant sports is what we did with Justin Verlander.
No, I know what you mean.
Is
You're
giving
setting him off to win.
Giving this guy the opportunity to win a championship. Granted, Verlander had an extra year on his contract where Tate was in a contract year.
And Verlander's done nothing but flourish over there.
Well, I mean,
But Verlander was paid, we all know, and nicknamed here in Detroit as Mr. October for a reason. That's just how it is. You get paid to produce when it's time, and Verlander did that in and out, day in, day out as a starter here in Detroit. And Tate did the same thing. He produced in this offense.
He gave it his
day
all.
in and day out.
Would it not be... now, imagine if they had planned this. Is it not a genius move if the owners traded Tate for, what was it, a third-round pick, right?
Or
was it a fourth?
I don't
Is it
remember.
third or fourth?
It was a third.
So you trade him for a third-round pick. So now this year, going in, you get that third-round pick, and you pick him back up off free agency.
All right, so I've always said that trading Golden Tate was the best thing that we could do.
Yes.
Facts.
Because you're at least going to get something for him, right? So the whole thing about Sue, everybody was so mad about the whole him going to Miami, and we got nothing for him because
Just let him walk.
Yeah, exactly. So now you are taking the risk that you think he might want to come back, and they were in contract extensions. Golden Tate was in full belief.
If
that
he's
he
in
was
contract
resigning.
extension, so you don't think doesn't want to come back?
I don't. I think that he would come back. I think we have a legitimate shot at him.
It's
but I also
hard.
think that he is going to get paid.
It's hard to, keep going on with those contract talks with Golden Tate when you have somebody who, like Kenny G, who I believe he's still under a rookie contract. He's under a rookie contract, and then you have Marvin Jones, who's relatively signed for cheap, and he's just a deep ball threat.
No, he's not.
He's not the okay.
Tim doesn't like him.
He's not a 7-catch guy a game. He's maybe he gets 3 catches for 50, 60 yards. Yeah, exactly. But what he does is, and he's moving the chains.
Yeah.
So where Golden Tate and Kenny G are those guys that are, how I like to say it, are the meat. You know, they're the meat and the potatoes
No, I know
of
what
the
you
dinner. They're getting the
moving the
inside
chains.
stuff done. Exactly.
Well, I mean, so let me ask you this: Would you rather sign Golden Tate for what, 13 mil,
Whatever.
2-3 years, or would you rather get rid of your first round pick and Marvin Jones and get Antonio Brown?
I want my whole thing was go after Golden Tate and bring Antonio Brown here. So you have Antonio Brown, Kenny Golladay, Golden Tate.
That would be dirty.
So that way, Golden Tate.
But do they have the money to bring in Brown's contract?
I don't know. I don't
Because
know.
Brown has to be traded.
100%.
Brown's still under contract.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
Well, just like any other big trade with anybody that has a large contract, that
You still
the
make
opposing
room.
team that's trading them is going to take on a certain hit.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. No matter
They
what.
get rid of
That's
him.
going to happen.
No, for sure. But do we have the money to take that hit? Is the
Yeah, if
question.
Pittsburgh pays whatever we agree to, I mean, that's going to be anywhere. It all depends on what the stipulation is of money that they want to give up.
Yeah.
Because they also have money that they're going to have to shoot out to where I believe that just to screw him over, because I believe he screwed them over, is
You talking about when he walked
throw
away?
a franchise tag, or I forget the other proper term of it, for Le'Veon Bell.
The transition
The
tag.
transition tag. Throw it at him, and then the team has to match that to be able to get him.
Yeah.
So
True.
they have that money as of right now, yes. But later on, will they? We don't know.
Yeah.
True.
So another thing about the 8th round pick. I'll go ahead.
Since 2013, though, AB has averaged 114 receptions, 1,525 yards, and 11 touchdowns
With
this
the
season.
same quarterback. With
What?
the same
No,
quarterback.
because Big Ben gets hurt all the time.
Right, and you know what he does when Big Ben's
Jones is
injured? You know what he does when Big Ben gets
Didn't Charlie
injured?
Batch throw him a freaking
Nothing.
70-yard touchdown one?
Yeah.
When Big Ben gets
Greatest
injured,
backup ever.
I had Antonio Brown on my fantasy team the year that Big Ben kept getting injured. He disappears, like nearly completely disappears. He would have streaks with Big Ben of getting either 5 catches or 50 yards in a game, and then once Big Ben got injured, he wouldn't top either of those. He
Yep.
disappears completely.
But
without
every
Big Ben.
quarterback that comes in has their favorite target or has a favorite route, and
Why would one of the greatest receivers not be your favorite target or favorite?
you just maybe don't have that chemistry with them. It's because it's really easy to say a second string quarterback practices with second string receivers all the time.
Right.
So when that second string receiver's in, he looks at him. He's like, I have trust in this guy. I know where if I put the ball in this position, I've seen him go out and get it.
So then putting him on a new team isn't going to change that quarterback's trust on him?
I think in OTAs and training camp, Stafford and Brown would be able to develop that.
Kind of like what Stafford and Marvin Jones did, right?
Yeah, but Marvin Jones can't separate himself from anything
You don't like him, but
because he can't separate himself from anything. Every catch he makes is a contested catch, which is good. He makes a contested catch, but you should not make 100% of your catches contested.
Is that a legitimate stat? 100%?
No, it's not
Okay.
100%. But
Just wanted to ask
every
that.
time that he's running downfield,
No, I've
there's
seen
somebody right on him.
He
He
definitely-
cannot separate from anything.
He draws a lot of pass interference.
So with
yeah,
the
because
lack
he's got somebody on him all the time.
with the lack of separation, and we're on the wide receiver position. So where does that put Julio?
Yeah,
Because Julio, we can sit here and talk about is easily a top 5 wide receiver in the league,
yeah.
but he's a top 50, if that, on 50-50 balls in the end zone.
Yeah. Well, first of all, he doesn't catch touchdowns. Found that out the hard
Right,
way.
so he doesn't catch touchdowns, but he's one of the best receivers.
Yeah, because he's going to move your chains for you. I mean, everybody's seen it that 2 years ago, Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman were two of the best running backs in fantasy, just because Julio gets him down to the 1 yard line and boom, in the end zone. You know, but I don't know, but I'm getting a little distracted because I'm trying to get back to the 8th pick again. So we have the 8th pick in the draft.
Right.
Bob Quinn said he's not going to rule any position out, and that we might take a quarterback.
I feel like that's a ploy. That's a GM's
Just trying to make another
distraction. He wants other teams to either want to trade up for a quarterback and trade to him so he can trade down,
team, or maybe force
or
a team ahead
force
of him.
teams ahead of him to draft quarterbacks. That way people fall to him.
That's fair, but
Yeah, I 100% think that we will not take a quarterback, even if we
probably in the 3rd round.
If we still keep that 8th overall pick, we will not pick a quarterback.
Not at 8. No.
Because it has been proven time and time again that we are keeping Matt Stafford as our starting quarterback.
Yes.
We signed players like Matt Castle. I mean, let's be real. Matt Castle
is not going to take the job.
He's not going to take a job. He's not going to.
Everybody knows he's a backup.
He's a backup, but a backup without a threat to Matt Stafford.
To steal the position.
To Matt Stafford.
Yeah. Right.
And with Matt Stafford signing that contract, you best believe the Ford family, which is Martha Ford just herself, but is not going to allow it. That's where things are going to step into.
So the one thing I was thinking is,
I don't think that's going to happen.
You can't take a quarterback at 8 because one, you're not sitting Stafford.
No.
And quarterbacks come in the league now, and you can't trade Stafford.
This is a weak draft also, though.
It is a very weak draft for quarterbacks.
It's
going to be a lot of defense. And
defense all the way around.
But you can't trade Stafford. I think he has a $20 million cap hit if we trade him. So you're going to eat that $20 million to draft a quarterback in the first round.
And that you don't even know.
And then he's not even going to start.
Still potential, though, but you don't know.
Yeah. But, I don't know. You can't do that. So
I would never.
I don't know.
Like I said, I mean, I don't know if I told you personally, but I feel you got 2 more years. You know,
Easy.
everybody knows that the first year with a new offensive coordinator doesn't always go as planned. They got a new offensive coordinator. Second year with a new offensive coordinator, that's your 3rd year with Patricia. Was it 4th or 5th year under Quinn?
So you're saying Patricia just bought himself 2 more years?
I'm saying Patricia has 2 more years with Stafford to prove something. If they don't, after 2 years, somebody's got to go.
So if they go to the playoffs next year, win a game, lose, go to the playoffs, lose right away, what do you think? Patricia stays?
I think he still stays. Because you said that they win.
1 playoff game.
That's enough to keep him for another year, at least on top of that.
He stays because not only like Bob Quinn, how I feel is they just want yes men, and I feel like they both are yes men.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they're both here for themselves and trying to establish themselves. Believe they're here because they're yes men. They said she basically liked what she heard and brought him on board.
Yeah.
That's how I honestly feel because you guys already know I'm not an advocate of Patricia. We should have kept Caldwell. But
I think Caldwell's in a better position right now.
But
yes, because Bob Quinn's not there.
I don't think I think Caldwell's in a position because he's in a position to where he's still in charge. He gets to manage and talk to every player on the team, and players love him. That's very, very well known thing that players love Caldwell, and that now he doesn't have to make any decisions. So I don't know. Let's Kareem Hunt. Browns get Kareem Hunt. Now you know Kareem Hunt is a threat. You know Kareem Hunt is a starting running back. If you're Chubb? How do you feel right now?
You're nervous. There's no way you're not nervous. You don't think he's nervous, John?
I don't think Chubb should be nervous. Duke Johnson's the most nervous one.
Well, you
just
brought a running back that does every single thing Duke Johnson does, and then is way faster.
Exactly. So why should somebody like Chubb, who in this offense,
well, you know Chubb's gonna run between the tackles.
He's a power back.
Yeah,
he's a between the tackle back.
But Hunt can do as well.
Hunt can do it. Yes.
Now, your Hunt, you're not going to get paid. Obviously, I think he's going to get like $1 million.
Yeah, because he's still coming off of his.
Who are you guys starting? Are you starting Hunt or are you starting Chubb?
Chubb.
You starting
Chubb 100%.
Chaos.
100%.
Ridiculous.
I'm not saying that they're not going to rotate.
Kareem Hunt led the league in rushing his rookie year and was leading the league rushing before he got allegedly suspended for kicking that girl.
That wasn't allegedly.
Okay, I know.
None of it is alleged.
It wasn't
actually.
Okay, it was a push with his foot. It wasn't even a kick. Like, you beat your meat harder than that kick was.
I'm telling you, though.
I give you that. I give you that.
Listen
one.
to this.
I'm pretty much married, so yeah.
Listen, though. So this is how
shouldn't have done it, but
it
wasn't that.
This is how I feel about the situation. The Browns go get Kareem Hunt. You know Kareem Hunt is a stud, right?
Did you say Kareem Punt?
Yeah. Not on purpose.
Totally on purpose, 100%.
But so you know he's a stud. And you know Nick Chubb's going to be your guy. They're probably going to be 50%. 50-50, I think.
No.
Yes.
If anything, it's going to be like 65-35. Kareem Hunt. There's no way
Chubb
that
was
you
a
don't
stud
start
last year when he got the job.
He was when he got the job. But he was also playing backup.
Not
there's no way. There's no way. I can't even fathom the fact that they would not start the league leading rusher.
So we can agree that the Browns got better, even though it was unfortunate when Tyrod Taylor got hurt. When Baker Mayfield stepped in, right?
I knew Baker Mayfield was going to be a starter at some point that day.
Not only did they get better when Tyrod got hurt, but they also got better when they traded away Carlos Hyde.
Correct.
Yes.
And with trading away Carlos Hyde, opened up for who to come in?
Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nick Chubb produced a hell of a lot more than Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson did in that offense.
So who's the better talent, Nick Chubb or Duke Johnson or Carlos Hyde?
Nick Chubb.
Okay, now who's the better talent, Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt?
On third down, Kareem Hunt.
Don't try to sing. Who's the better talent, Kareem Hunt or Nick Chubb?
They run two different style offenses.
It's two different styles.
Who's the better talent? I don't care what offense.
Kareem Hunt is a better talent because
so why would he not get the starting job over Nick Chubb?
Why not? Because he doesn't fit the offense like they need to keep.
How do you know he doesn't fit the offense? He hasn't been in the offense yet.
Because he came from a high-flying offense that opened up everything underneath for him. Tyreek Hill is running deep. Patrick Mahomes can chuck the ball. And you have...
Alex Smith. He was doing it with Alex Smith.
Yeah, but the Tyreek Hill...
Led the league with Alex Smith.
The Tyreek Hill factor is like... The thing is that Tyreek Hill demands attention.
Yeah, but Alex Smith wasn't just bombing it constantly like Patrick Mahomes was, and he was still running like that.
Yeah, because all he had to do was hit Tyreek Hill in stride, and it's good. And we talked about how Alex Smith was an accurate quarterback, and all you had to do is hit somebody in stride that's running 30 miles an hour down the middle of the field. You demand that.
He's nicknamed the Cheetah for a reason.
Yeah, you demand that.
You're trying to avoid the fact that Kareem Hunt was doing it without Patrick Mahomes.
I'm
without
not saying
the deep threat. He was still doing it. I mean, Tyreek Hill was still there, but he wasn't as established as he is with Patrick Mahomes.
What I'm saying is, I do think Kareem Hunt will be successful in every single NFL offense.
Any team.
On any team. But I also believe that you drafted Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb produced way more than expected last year when he started. And you're going to stick with him. You're going to run him. You're not going to put him behind. Their snaps are going to be so close. It's going to be 50-50.
So then they just pick him up for trade bait. So they have him to trade him away
next year.
Because he's not going to play next year.
Yeah, he is. 4-game suspension.
You think he's only getting a 4-game suspension?
I think with that video, he's at least. I mean, they're going to have to. They're going to have to make a statement. It sucks who it is. I mean, as being a great player, because we all know these guys all get second chances no matter what sport they're in. And before anybody says Ray Rice, he was on the decline.
Yeah.
But
Ray Rice? I'm sorry, I had to. You opened the door for me.
But I think they're going to have to make a statement because the video went viral.
And he lied about it.
Especially during the season.
True.
Yeah.
Right.
So I believe he's going to get handed.
Belichick.
He's going to get handed maybe a 8, maybe a 6.
I'm thinking 10.
6. I'm just going to give a range of a 6-game to maybe even a 12
season?
Game. I'm not going to say a full season, but I'm going to say 6 to maybe 10, 12 games. That's where I'm going to lead to. And it's going to give the Browns that push during that time frame because he's going to come in with fresh legs. And that's where he's going to take off from.
So this Adam Schefter said it is. It's probably going to be 10 to 12.
All right. So you're saying after he comes back off of suspension, he's going to take it and run with it. And you don't think that's going to give him the starting job? You don't think that he's the better talent?
No, because no matter what it is and how it is in the league, if you've been consistent all year, they're not going to jump ship on you for a guy who just was suspended.
As long as you're consistent.
As long as you're consistent.
And then I think you're
going to have a spot to play, but you're not going to get that starting spot.
So they're not. You're saying that NFL teams don't just jump ship for the better talent?
Yes and no.
Because Alex Smith took his team to the NFC Championship game, and then when he got injured the next year, they hopped into Colin Kaepernick, and then they benched Alex Smith when he was healthy.
There's a difference from coming back from injury, and then coming back from a suspension that did nothing but damage your image.
Yeah, but you didn't damage your body, so you're still running with the same talent. You're not hurt.
So I'm always a big believer. I don't care what you do off the field. If you're not in prison, then you should be able to get a job. And I think,
Ray Lewis?
I mean,
facts.
The way I look at it is yeah, you should not hit anybody, right? Like, you should not hit a woman.
Right. I just want to go on record. As much as I say that the kick wasn't hard, he still did it.
Yeah.
So I mean, he still should there should be repercussions. To me, though, is like if for some reason if I got in trouble for doing anything, well, literally anything, if I'm not in jail, my work's not going to fire me because I did whatever outside of work. Right.
So why does the NFL have to take that action?
Because it's lead by example kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess like you're an idol and people look up to you. But I'm
not even going with that. I'm just saying like to prevent other players from doing it. Because what if another player does it and then he does get locked up? It's a preventative measure.
That's what I'm saying is like I feel like it's really up to like let them get locked up and then that's where your suspension comes. How long are you in jail for? But like
I can see that, but
I feel like there should be stricter laws on it because then you're actually in trouble. Because all right, you're in trouble. You're suspended 4 games, but guess what? You're gonna come back and make millions after that.
Yeah. Right, it's just like a slap on the wrist.
Exactly. What are you gonna do? Just get this guy?
Would you rather miss 4 games in your NFL career?
You need to go anger management, and you need to.
Yeah, so that's what he has to do is alcohol and anger and
Yeah, I mean
anger.
That's all you have to do to still continue to make millions.
That's what I'm saying.
Sign me up.
It's literally, would you rather go to jail or would you rather miss 4 games of your NFL career?
I'm missing 4 games every time.
Yeah.
Even if it's without pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're.
I mean, well, when you go to jail, you're missing those games anyways.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
but
like it's an obvious choice. You don't want to go to jail. You'd rather just miss the 4 games. Of course, the player's like, "Oh, you're suspended 4 games." Like, well, at least I'm not.
I'm just shocked. I'm just shocked at the fact that no matter if it's Kareem Hunt, no matter if it's who else was it, Greg Hardy,
AP.
Didn't Greg Hardy just get his ass whooped in the UFC?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did.
But breaking those guys down, Ray Rice, I feel that it's crazy how society is to where these guys are on video doing these things, and you have, even though it's a land, I mean, we give second chances out here in America and sports in general, especially if you do well. Mike Vick went to prison for a full year.
Yes,
might have made him a better quarterback.
For not even but the thing was, he wasn't the one personally fighting these dogs.
Yeah,
no, it was on his property.
It was on his property, and he funded it.
He enabled it.
Yes, but do you receive a punishment that's harsher than
one of the best quarterbacks
these
in my
guys?
opinion?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's a different thing to talk on, but it's just to put that thought in everybody's head that's going to be listening. Like, this is something that's going against a woman and something that's going against a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love dogs myself, but honestly, I think it's worse if I see a man.
People eat dogs.
I think I would feel worse if I walked past somebody on the streets and I seen a guy kick a woman and I did nothing than if I seen a guy kick a dog and did something. That's just me.
Yeah. I don't know.
So you love dogs but not women. That's what you do. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No, but, all right, so real quick. So you obviously value Kareem Hunt.
Yes.
For a number of reasons, I know, because he basically essentially helped you win a championship.
Yeah, and I drafted him his rookie year too.
So that's what I'm saying. So and he made you do well that year. So obviously you have reasons to actually like Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
Where do you value Kareem Hunt then? Because he's going to get drafted in the fantasy football next year.
Man, that's so tough because you're talking about where would I draft him in fantasy?
Yeah, he's getting a 10-game suspension. Where are you drafting him?
We talking PPR?
Yeah.
Like we play
standard 1-point PPR
or standard
1-point PPR.
Okay, PPR.
Kareem Hunt, where would I draft him? Me personally, I wouldn't draft him this year.
Really?
I would not.
He's going to get drafted because
he's going to play.
I know everybody here thinks as well as that they're going to be in the championship for their fantasy football league because I believe I'm there every year. It doesn't always pan out like that.
Until you prove me wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
it doesn't
in the
always pan
finals.
out like that, but I'm always looking at, like, what am I going to do when I get in the playoffs?
Yeah.
And that's exactly where Kareem Hunt is coming back.
Yeah,
and you're saying he's going to jump in
6.
You just,
Six?
I'm taking him 6th round.
Well, you're asking me where I would take him, and I don't know if you watch my draft the way I drafted running backs early. So by that point, if you're going into the 6th round, I don't think I need a running back anymore.
Yeah, but
you don't think you do? But if the talent's there, why not take the talent in a PPR?
Well, if because you're still missing 10 to 12 game or whatever the suspension is. You're missing a very large chunk of season out of him.
He's going to be there right when you need him the most.
But
like you guys just argued, is he going to get the starting position? Is he going to be playing and getting those points?
Right.
What's up?
I lost my train of thought.
I was like, what?
Because something like that, you already you draft running back heavy.
Absolutely.
So you feel okay, especially in the PPR, you feel that you have your talent at running back already, right?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So if at that point you already know your quarterbacks, especially the leagues that I know that I play in with both of you, our quarterbacks are juiced up.
Yes.
So any quarterback's going to succeed pretty much.
Right.
That starts, except for probably I would say Lamar Jackson. Because let's just be real. He's not going to get the passing yards and everything like that. So why not? Why not take him that high if you already drafted your running backs? And
right.
At this point,
one running back's not going to pan out.
At this point,
okay.
let's say realistically, you drafted 3 running backs before the 6th round.
Okay.
So ideally, you have either 2 wide receivers or a wide receiver and a tight end.
Or a tight end, yeah.
And Kareem Hunt's on the board.
So let me ask you this:
you have a flex.
Julian Edelman was average draft position last year was round 7. Would you rather grab Julian Edelman in round 6 or Kareem Hunt in round 6
Well, Julian Edelman, there's only a 4-game suspension.
Yes,
You're talking about a full year next year.
I'm just saying, in the what I'm getting at is in the 6th round. Why would you draft somebody that you know is missing 10 games when you can get somebody like a Julian Edelman
One thing I want to point out, though, is that Julian Edelman probably dropped 2 rounds easy because he's got a 4-game suspension.
This is true. I'm just trying
would
to.
have been a 4th, 5th.
I'm trying to name people that I know were going in that round.
Yeah.
So
okay, but would you rather take a Kenyon Drake in the 6th round or Kareem Hunt?
Kenyon Drake was getting drafted in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
What a bust. But I mean, that's just legitimate. In the 6th round, like you guys said, I go running back heavy, so I probably would already have 3 running backs. So at that point, I'm not looking for a running back that's missing 10 weeks.
So do you take Kareem Hunt in the 10th round then?
In the 10th round, if he's there, I'm going to grab. That's so tough. That's so tough.
All right, so if I'm running back heavy and Kareem Hunt's there 6th round, I'm taking the Los Angeles route, and they brought in C.J. Anderson. He's going to have fresh legs. So, yeah, I'm taking Kareem at 6 even if I'm already running back heavy. He's out 10 games, like you said. I didn't get in the argument with Chum and them, just so you know. But I am taking Kareem Hunt because, like you said, he's going to have the fresh legs still. So, you know after 10 games, even if he splits his 50-50 with Chubb, he's still going to have the fresh legs.
Right.
He's going to
right. So you're picking a guy that you're not going to have for 10 weeks instead of picking a receiver or another running back that you could have for the 10 weeks that could possibly get you into the championship.
Super Bowl.
Kareem planning for the future.
Kareem Hunt's going to make me win the playoffs and then make me win the championship after 10
Yeah, but I mean, it depends on your team. We can't just do hypotheticals right now. If you're a team and your receivers,
this is all about is
I'm saying,
you could have said
we don't know where your team. We don't know where your team is, so we can't say that your receivers are weak. But if in the 6th round, if you went running back heavy, then your receivers are weak. You're not going to try to grab another receiver that can try to bolster your position.
No, I'm taking Kareem Hunt because the worst case scenario, I have a trade bait and I can get another wide receiver for the playoffs.
It's not only that, but it's also your style. If you're running back heavy, okay, that's cool. But somebody like me who also drafts running back heavy, and when you go into like full PPR and everything like that, you're gonna draft Kareem Hunt for, like Will just said, trade bait. But you're also in the aspect getting somebody who you know that's going to be there. You play the bye weeks also. That's something that you have to put into factor. So if you're looking at it, okay, Kareem Hunt's on a 10-week bye week pretty much, and then but once week 10 is over, your 3rd running back or that 2nd receiver or that 3rd receiver, however you went in those first 5 rounds, they're going to be on a bye week. You can plug in Kareem Hunt because...
Yeah, but what if you lost 8 or 7, 6 of those games already? You're not even in the playoff picture anymore. Still hypothetical.
And then, hypothetically, somebody else is going to want them, and you can have trade bait, especially in the leagues that we play.
But you're already out of playoff contention, so what is the trade? Where's the value of that?
We're keeper redraft leagues that we play in. So that is something that can hold value to somebody.
I can see that. So I want to readdress what I said, because I said that I wouldn't draft him myself, and then when you brought that situation on me, I thought about it. So I want to go back and say that it depends on what my team is looking like.
That's fair. So now the Browns look good.
They do.
They're definitely a way different team than they were 3 years ago.
Facts.
Do they win the division next year?
I'm going to say yes. You got Pittsburgh.
I say yes too.
They're losing Bell and Brown potentially.
They're automatically getting worse.
Big Ben is getting a year older. All right, and then you got the Ravens.
Who just shipped Joe Flacco away?
Just shipped Joe Flacco to Denver. They
Such a big change.
Lamar. Quick interjection. You seen how the Super Bowl odds for the Denver Broncos without Joe Flacco was 1 in 100, and then once they got Joe Flacco, it was 1 in 125. Terrible.
I'm here for you, Will.
So the Ravens.
Lions first, dog. Lions first.
So the Ravens now they have Lamar Jackson, who's young.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked good out there, but he doesn't look like he's a division winner.
Yeah.
They're getting rid of their top receiver, John Brown.
You said he doesn't look like a division winner?
Lamar Jackson.
The team as a whole.
Like the team. I don't think that team wins the division.
Well, I mean, they just won the division.
But that was they were coattailing back and forth between him and Joe Flacco.
No,
after he took the job, he ran with it.
He took over, they
literally ran with it.
But the thing
a lot of running. But so
a lot of running.
and then you got. I mean, the Bengals are the most potential threat to that division.
No,
with the new head coach and then question at quarterback.
Well, how is it a question? When Andy Dalton's healthy, he's good out there. He's definitely. I mean, they make it to the playoffs and they just lose in the wild card.
Interceptions.
Yes.
That's one game. I'm sure.
How many playoff wins? How many playoff wins does he have?
None.
Why is that?
Because the team lost. How many playoff wins does Stafford have? None. All right,
how
but
many
Stafford
times?
sucks?
How many times has Stafford been to the playoffs compared to Andy Dalton?
Stafford's been there 3 or 4 times. Andy Dalton's been there 3 or 4 times.
The Bengals have never won a playoff game under Marvin Lewis, their old.
He's gone now.
How has he been there for so long?
He had to have nudes on the commissioner or something. That's it.
Dude, this guy was literally there for so long without winning playoff games.
God.
And having great offenses of somebody like, let me just mention a starting lineup of Carson Palmer before an ACL injury, Corey Dillon. Before it was Ocho Cinco, Chad Johnson, TJ Houshmandzadeh. Like, you had the tools, bro. Like, you haven't won a single playoff game.
Are you telling me the Bengals right now don't have tools? They don't have AJ Green, Tyler Boyd, who exploded this year onto the scene. Joe Mixon.
And this is my exact point of why they won't win a game.
But they don't have Marvin Lewis. You said they won't win a game?
They won't win a playoff game.
No,
they won't. I
didn't jump that far ahead. I just said that they're the biggest threat to Cleveland in that division.
The Browns go 10-6, win the division.
I could see that happening.
That's bold.
I mean, they just went 8-8. I mean, and they're improved.
That's bold. I still believe with or without Antonio Brown, Pittsburgh Steelers still make a push because they're obviously
8-8.
They have an elite quarterback.
They have somebody
an aging elite quarterback.
They have a proven quarterback, not only just aging. Or
how many times have everybody said Tom Brady's getting older next year, they're not going to be good, or Drew Brees is getting older next year, he's not going to be good, and then Peyton Manning can't go to Denver and win a Super Bowl, and then he goes there and breaks the passing touchdown record, the single season touchdown record.
But eventually, what happened to Peyton Manning? He got too old. And
after neck surgeries.
I'm saying it still happens. We just don't know when it's going to happen. They keep trying to predict it, and they can be wrong.
Was it the surgeries or the steroid allegation?
Both. So a little backtrack. Stafford has been to 3 playoff games, hasn't won a single one. Right. Andy Dalton took the Cincinnati Bengals to 4 consecutive and hasn't won one.
I said 3 or 4 and 3 and 4, so I was right.
I'm just informing. I'm throwing out the facts. First time in Bengals history too.
How did Marvin? I just don't understand how you're there for so long.
I'm just saying.
How long was he there for?
Andy Dalton is still a good quarterback.
Somewhere in between, I would say, as Will's over here fact checking me right now, I would say 12 to 15 years.
I was going to say 11, but
Marvin Lewis is not returning as a Bengals head coach, sources says. Lewis spent 16 years with the Bengals after being hired in 2000.
How are you there for so long with no success?
His overall record was 131, 122, and 3.
So you're an average coach.
I don't even think that's average.
And he was named Coach of the Year in 2009.
Was that the year with Carson Palmer, Corey Dillon,
when they won
TJ Houshmandzadeh,
that might come with Cedric Benson.
Won the AFC North with a 10-6 record. Is when he was named it.
At least quarterbacks that have been like on their, or not quarterbacks, coaches that have been on teams for a long time, they all have like at least a Super Bowl.
Or playoff wins.
Or playoff wins.
Yes.
Like,
I mean, it's all about just the consistency.
Like you could say, like Tomlin, I don't think will go anywhere for a while because Tomlin is consistently the Pittsburgh Steelers are always relevant, whether they're winning in the playoffs or not.
Even if they don't make the playoffs, at the end of the year they're making that push.
Exactly.
So
they're always relevant, and they won the Super Bowl. They haven't won the Super Bowl, and he's one of the coaches that have been around on the same team for a long time. That is a really hard thing to do, is to be on a team for a long time. The only other coach I could really think of that's been around for a while on one team is Belichick.
Yeah.
And that's after he got fired from the Cleveland Browns.
Fun fact. Baltimore Browns.
Well, yeah, I mean, but we all know. I mean, he got fired as a head coach with a horrible record. And
Well, that team ended up being successful.
Well, yeah, later on down the road.
Yeah. That specific team, not the Browns.
Yeah.
The Baltimore Ravens.
So they came in the league in, what, 96?
Yeah.
Something like that.
But, I don't know. Yeah, that just blows my mind. Who else is good? John Harbaugh? He's been a coach that's been around for a while on one team. I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon.
Hey, he just signed an extension.
Yeah. How long is Gruden in the league for? I say 2 years.
Gruden?
2.5. 2.5. Give him the half year.
If,
let's see how this draft plays out.
If
Signed a 10-year, $100 million.
If the Davis son is anything like his dad, he'll fulfill his whole 10-year contract plan.
I don't believe it. 10 years.
Let's see how these drafts play out.
It's 10 years, $100 million. This guy gets paid more than quarterbacks around the league.
Dude, you know what I thought was really funny? Is when they shifted Khalil Mack, and they said, whatever, get out of here. And then Khalil Mack signs all that money. He goes, that's a lot of money for one person to sign with. Like, you're just signed a $100 million contract. What are you talking about? His self-awareness is not there. And do you think he was making a joke? Because I always wanted to talk about this. Do you think he's like intentionally making a joke? After the first game of the season, they couldn't get to the quarterback, and he's like, can't figure out why we couldn't get to the quarterback.
I want to say the stat was like before, like during the first 4 or 5 games, they showed a stat of the Raiders' defense
compared to
Khalil Mack. Yeah,
like he had like 5 sacks, 2 interceptions, and 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
Khalil Mack had like 8 sacks,
2 fumble recoveries,
2 touchdowns,
2 touchdowns, 3 fumble recoveries. Whatever
to be fair, he had 8 sacks and 2 touchdowns against the Packers.
True,
not really, but
he outperformed the whole defense. Like something like that. That's a generational player.
That was a man with something to prove that year.
100%. He has something to prove, but he also is showing how great he is.
You're talking about
for sure.
You're talking about a man that I think he was either the first or it was either in his second year won Defensive Player of the Year award. I mean, he's a one-in-a-lifetime generational player like we see in Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Like, he deserves his money. Pay the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're all going to look at it from past tense of watching sports that these guys didn't make as much money as they do now.
Yeah.
But, hey, some of these guys on defense, some of them, you might want to pay them like a quarterback because
there's something
playing those positions, you do, I mean, even though it's stereotypically the linebacker that's considered the quarterback of the defense. But your best player on defense, I mean, especially Khalil Mack being pretty much a hybrid linebacker defensive end.
He'd do just about anything.
Why can't you pay that guy? Why can't you pay the guy?
So here's something.
I would say pay him more, but I still wouldn't pay him as much
Here's something
as
to know. Is there a new system to win Super Bowls? Because I think there is. I think the system to win Super Bowls is to draft a rookie quarterback. He's going to have those 4 years, and then you just go out and pay everybody else, and just have a rookie quarterback that's going to be good.
I say
why would you say that? Because when has that happened?
Seattle, Philly, Los Angeles.
But did Wentz win it?
Kansas City.
Wentz didn't win it?
Yeah, but they've been successful teams in the NFL.
Yes.
The only other successful teams in the NFL have
Kansas
Hall of Fame
City won it?
quarterbacks. No, I'm saying they're successful.
Yeah, well, you're talking about, you said to winning a Super Bowl.
I think the recipe to win a Super
Successful
Bowl.
and winning a Super Bowl is a little different.
No, I think the
Yes, it
recipe
is.
to being successful, to have a better chance to win a Super Bowl, is to go this route.
No, you're lowering it to that now, but you said the recipe to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
That's what-
my point is to be successful in the NFL now.
All right, this is a little different. So
So
I got it.
the only other teams that are successful in the NFL right now have Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Every other successful team has a quarterback on a rookie contract with a loaded defense or offense.
Andrew Luck.
He's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback.
So I guess what breaks it down is, what do you, or who do you classify as successful as a team wise, and then we list those quarterbacks, because there's a argument in place that you can put towards any quarterback in the league besides, I would say, as of right now, Tom Brady. I mean, even though I don't think like, okay, yeah, he's the greatest of all time, but
One of.
hey, what teams and what quarterbacks are you putting in that category
What category?
of being successful teams?
Yeah.
Being successful, because you have teams like, look at New York Giants. They have 2 championships, but a lot of people, even I would go amongst the 4 of us here, we can argue if Eli's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback.
But they're not relevant anymore.
Eli's relevant because Odell Beckham's
What
there.
I'm saying is, like, the system is changing, I think. So before it was, get a quarterback, pay him all this money because you want him to stay. He's going to drag your team, no matter how bad it is, to a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, I agree with you. When you changed it to having a successful team, then I can agree with that.
What I meant to say is, like,
Super
to
Bowl
get
winning, I
your
wouldn't say that.
chances, the best chances to win a Super Bowl today, I think, is drafting a quarterback in the first round or so and going out and paying everybody else. Because, I mean, if you're Aaron Donald, your contract here, obviously he's going to stay with the Rams for a while, but you're shopping, right? You're trying to get out. And now I'm telling you, I'm going to pay you $50 million more than the next team because I just drafted a rookie quarterback. You want to come play for us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now with you bringing up Aaron Donald, I have to do it because we were in position to do it as me being a Lions fan. We were in position to draft Aaron Donald the year he came in the league. And we were in position to have not only Aaron Donald, but have him lined up again with Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah.
Now, do you say...
You never know, though.
I mean, yeah, you never know, but you see what they did this year over in Los Angeles and think of what could have been.
Well, sure.
But is it the quarterback, not paying the quarterback, or is it having the scheme with the coach? Because we can all agree, I believe, that one of, if not the greatest quarterback coach of all time is Andy Reid.
Yes.
I believe that.
And he's done it with Donovan McNabb. He revived Michael Vick.
He revived Alex Smith.
I don't think he revived Alex Smith. Michael Smith.
I think
Alex Smith had the talent.
Yeah, I think he put Alex Smith in a
enhanced it,
position
yeah.
to succeed.
He put him in a position to succeed with John Dorsey there as the GM, drafting somebody like Tariq Hill,
Yeah.
things like that.
But was
pieces
Alex Smith thriving before him?
He always has been.
Alex Smith has
He's been decent.
I wouldn't say he was thriving, but Alex Smith lived up to a good expectation of a first overall quarterback pick.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he was thriving because he
Well,
never got
obviously
over. He never got over the edge.
Right, so if he wasn't thriving, then Andy Reid didn't revive him?
I think the difference is like, so Vic didn't go to Philly as a passing quarterback.
No.
He went to Philly and Reid changed up his style. He made him pass from the pocket a little bit more, started making him protect himself a little bit more to make him last in the league.
Right.
He changed Vic's style in a sense. So he revived his career by changing his style. He didn't do anything to change Alex Smith.
But he still revived him because he still put him in that position.
He revived him because that was the best year of his career. You could say that he revived him because he wasn't doing that with other teams. I get your point, but like, I think Alex Smith was capable of always doing that.
You can be capable of doing it. Doesn't mean that you're doing it.
Yeah, but I don't even know what was the point of that.
Who fucking knows?
You're talking about Andy Reid. Talking about Andy Reid being.
Get to Andy Reid.
It was going off of what Tim said about the recipe of having a successful team, even though he had to backtrack his words and to a successful team from a Super Bowl team.
I think to be successful in the league is what I was.
Yeah, we got that.
Yeah.
And then John started talking about he was trying to bring something up with Andy Reid and started talking about Andy Reid's quarterback.
I was bringing it up in the aspect of, hey, is it that of getting in a quarterback and drafting them wherever round you get them, and you obviously have to have somebody to develop them. That's where I was getting at, because when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs,
only one team gets that chance.
Well, when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, or if you look at the Los Angeles Rams, let's say a year and 2 years ago, I think we can all argue that even though back when Steve McNair was in the league, rest in peace, but Jeff Fisher was the coach of the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
And when Jeff Fisher became, at the time, the St. Louis Rams coach, and he was actually there for Goff's rookie year. Jeff Fisher's gone. Jared Goff is in position at, until they slowed down, he was in position to be an MVP type with the stats. Quarterback.
I don't care what he is.
Well, I'm just saying, with the stats.
Yeah.
And then you look at the Kansas City Chiefs coming in this year. Not a handful of people actually drafted Patrick Mahomes where you were drafting
elite quarterbacks
such as Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, things. I'll say Phillip Rivers, because he's in a pass-heavy offense. Things like that. You weren't drafting them there because of all the things you heard coming out of training camp.
You will next
that this guy was throwing. I think they said he threw like
4 picks in one game.
4 picks with 0 interceptions over
0 touchdowns.
2 simulated games or whatever. Everybody stayed away from him from the reports that we got.
Well,
and then next thing you know, it turns around. Boom! This guy is pretty much, how I look at it, with him having a little bit of mobility. He reminds me, if you had what the Green Bay Packers had, but all in one quarterback, of Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre.
Yes.
You put those two together, I think that's where you get Patrick Mahomes. And having Andy Reid there just pushed it over the top.
Yeah.
Coaches definitely matter. Anybody that says coaches don't matter is smoking something.
Yeah. I mean, of course coaches matter, but they're game planning you to win the game. They're telling you
but I mean, just to revert, a lot of people try to just dismiss Belichick like he's not one of the main reasons, if not the main reason, why the Patriots are so successful.
He's the greatest coach of all time.
Exactly. You yawning over there, Tim?
Yeah. I just woke up.
You tired? I mean, it's only 11 o'clock at night.
So, on a quick side note, after like 50 minutes of football, tomorrow we got the Elimination Chamber for WWE. I'm just throwing it out there.
You got some matches up there?
We got I don't know if it's going to be the main event, but we got the WWE Championship. Daniel Bryan locked in the Elimination Chamber with AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, Randy Orton, Samoa Joe, and Kofi Kingston. Any thoughts on that? Just...
There's going to be a bunch of RKOs. I don't know.
Suplexes.
12. I don't know why, but I just feel like if Daniel Bryan doesn't retain, it's going to be Kofi Kingston as the new champion.
I think that Kofi Kingston's going to be very exciting to watch. He always is, but I don't think he's going to win it.
I like his gimmicks.
After the gauntlet that he had to go through just to get in the Elimination Chamber, I think they might push him.
But I think that's, like I said, that's just using it for excitement. So you seen the gauntlet match that they did?
I saw bits and pieces of it.
You seen how Randy Orton came out of nowhere? Out of nowhere, baby! I feel like, if I had to put money in on it, I'd say it'd be Randy Orton. If it's not Daniel Bryan retaining, because they already have the WrestleMania.
Right, but I mean that's the whole point, because you got this fast lane and then WrestleMania.
Right, and what's anybody else want to guess on that match? No,
I have no clue.
Like I said, I haven't watched wrestling.
I feel you.
For about a good, I would say, since I was back in the Marine Corps, but. Man, Randy Orton just sticks out to me because of he's a veteran. He's a veteran in there, and I know of Kofi Kingston. I know of these guys, and he brings the pizzazz. He brings the, oh my God, I want to watch that guy because of what he does.
So does Jeff Hardy, especially in Elimination.
Well, yeah,
Chamber.
Jeff Hardy's also like 80 years old.
Also a veteran.
I feel like he's
been
80
in
years
there
old,
multiple times.
but he's not going to be able to jump off of
He's gonna
17 foot ladders. Like, that's what I know of Jeff Hardy.
He did it 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
Right. Well,
He's 50 now.
That means his body's rested for 2 years. He can do it again.
Right. And just to say, WWE
New
first
Hulk
time
Hogan?
ever making history. Women's Tag Team Championship matchup.
Yep.
First ever to get crowned.
Yep.
That's gonna inside the Elimination Chamber.
Whoever
Tag
Ronda
team
Rousey
elimination.
is going to win.
Ronda Rousey's not in it.
Oh, well, she'll win it eventually.
No, she's in a singles match against Ruby Riott for her belt.
Well, she's going to win.
Yeah, that matchup. I posted on Facebook the other day. I feel like the women's matchups are more exciting to watch now than the men's.
I agree. I do agree.
And that's not just because they're better to look at, but
That helps.
I 100%
it definitely helps. But no, like the talent level, like the moves that they do is more exciting. It's more high octane. It's like we're used to in the Attitude Era.
True. Yeah. I'm really excited for the Braun Strowman Baron Corbin no DQ match though.
Oof, man,
I just want to see
telling you.
Baron Corbin get ripped to shreds, dude.
Yeah, we're watching the Elimination Chamber here tomorrow.
Oh
so.
fuck it, I'm here.
Yeah, if you want to come over, come on over.
And
I work,
if
but-
you come over after work or before work, just hit up Will. Try to win a boat.
Yeah, if you guys want to know how to win a boat, let me know. Or come see me at Cabela's in Chesterfield, 20 Hall Road, off 94. I can help you win a boat. Sign up for a credit card too.
Are you going to tell me that I guaranteed to win?
But at the same
No, I'm
time,
not helping you try.
He can help you try to win it, Timothy.
since he's juicing up where he works at, if you end up going to see this guy over at the Chesterfield Cabela's, shoot on over. I work at Menards. So
Saving money at Menards. Sorry.
Oh, no free ads.
I
What
got-
the hell's going on here?
I mean, all right.
I didn't do the jingle he did. I was just saying, come hit me up. And I can say stuff.
We are not
but-
sponsored by Menards
It's
or
like Speedway.
Cabela's.
Every time someone
What is
says
going on
Speedway, I
here?
say,
Somebody needs to pay me.
I don't know. I think I might order some Hungry Howie's.
but if we're actually gassing everything up, you can follow me over on Twitch TV /DUBYABWB. I stream, so hook me up, follow me.
All he does is play Fortnite.
No. I've been playing Siege and Apex Legends.
Good for you.
Thank you. Boys just out here trying to make a little bit of side cash. You know what I'm saying?
No.
$20 is $20.
I mean, I'm affiliated. Drop your Twitch Prime sub. Help a boy out.
Yeah. But so did you? What you got the rest of this going on, or
I mean, what?
that's it? No, like
That's all I care
that's
about.
going on there.
Oh, for the Elimination Chamber?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean,
there's still a couple more matches, but I mean, you hit the main
Stands
event.
I mean, the other only one that points out is The Miz and Shane McMahon defending their tag team SmackDown champion against the Usos.
There's the Raw Elimination Chamber, too. You named the SmackDown.
So wait, they're still split?
Yeah, with Randy Orton. There's one with
Of course they
Seth
are.
Rollins.
Money, baby.
Talk about how great.
Yeah,
that
there
guy
is.
No,
is.
because they made all pay-per-views
Which one?
co-branded now.
I'm saying, I know, and there's
What's his
two
name?
matches.
The
There's
freaking-
the SmackDown Elimination
Vince?
Chamber match,
Yeah, Vince.
and then
What a
there's
guy.
the Raw Elimination Chamber
It
match.
took something from
No, because
basically
Kofi
like
SmackDown.
nothing.
Right.
to
He's
in the
$1
Raw.
billion
No,
industry.
everybody that you named is on SmackDown.
The WWE champions are Raw.
It's on SmackDown. It's the Universals on Raw.
Oh yeah, they did switch it. No, I'm literally looking at the list. There's only the one besides the
I'm gonna have
women's
to pull
tag
it
team.
up. I'm gonna have to pull it up. I promise you that there's a match with Seth Rollins.
Well, while they're doing that, anybody watch the Red Wings game yesterday?
I did not.
Pretty exciting one.
I did watch. Was that the with the crown wall, or was that the game before?
That was the game before.
Oh, dude, that he ran into a fucking brick wall though, dude.
The Red Wings went down 5-1 yesterday, tied it up, go to overtime. They tied it up in the third. They scored 4 in the third to go to overtime. They lost, but it's an exciting game to watch.
Hey, I bet being down.
Yeah.
I would have turned off the TV for being honest. I would have been like,
I like to support my team to the end, so.
I feel you. I feel you.
And then, I mean, the Wings aren't going to be anything this year. Obviously, they're probably not going to be anything for the next 2 years.
Right.
But
It's still exciting to watch. It's
yeah,
hockey.
I like me some hockey.
Side note, baseball. Everyone. I know we wanted to touch a little base on this. I know players.
Base, I see what you did there.
Someone catches it. Yeah, players report tomorrow. Besides Blue Jays, they go Monday.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that we sit here and say, obviously, pitchers and catchers already reported, but when you say players, that's obviously relating to the whole team and the ones that were signed to these spring training rosters.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest names that stand out, Manny Machado and Bryce Harper are still unsigned.
So what's going on there with Bryce Harper?
I mean, I don't know if they...
Does he not want to be there?
Yeah, he already wanted out. I think he was looking to get traded at the deadline so he can push to get a ring.
Yeah.
I think the Dodgers were in it as much as...
Bryce Harper's at the point in his career he needs to come to American League, right?
Yes and no. Yes and no, because Bryce Harper is, he's in his 20s.
Yeah, but...
he's in his 20s, so it's not like he's in the down spout of like how David Ortiz or how we look at injuries.
Doesn't Bryce Harper... Doesn't he not hit as well right now? Didn't he not hit as well the last 2 seasons or so?
Batting average-wise? Probably not.
I think
I know
I don't know.
he's...
I was wrong. There's not a Raw championship match. It's crazy.
When you sit there and look at it, you're gonna tie Mike Trout and Bryce Harper into each other because they came up. I want to say relatively just
about the same time. Yeah,
I would say the most is a year apart, and they both respectfully won NL and AL MVPs.
Yeah, he was a 249 batter last year.
Yeah, but look at his jacks.
34.
That was at the time. When the league was going on, when season was going on, he was up there. He was top 5, top 10 in home runs.
Yeah, he was 34.
He's an exciting player because he plays defense also.
His best year was the 42 home runs.
I think that was his MVP year. Yeah.
Yeah, that was 2015. But other than that, he hasn't been that great of a batter. Other than hitting the ball at the park. I guess it's something that said if you're hitting the ball at the park 34 times, you're probably scoring 90 runs, which is a huge deal. So.
Especially and then being,
his on base percentage was .393, so that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So
he's drawing walks. He's unfortunately getting hit or whatever it is, or running out of a sure ground ball or whatever. He's running them out. He's getting on base. Yeah, that's good, but he's in the prime of his career.
Oh, of course.
You're never gonna have, I believe, a more consistent, career as a batter than somebody in the American League because they can convert over into their DH spot.
Right.
But defensively, he's there. Defensively he's there. Offensively, he's there, and then he's he disappears maybe for a little bit, but he's there. And that's what matters because when you look at the contracts, look how old Miguel was when he signed his contract. Yeah. He wasn't in his 20s in his prime like these guys were. These guys that are free agency are. Yeah. So Miguel getting that type of contract is just nothing but a boost of, hey, well, he got this. Let me get this.
Oh, of course.
Because it's just how sports world works.
Yeah, they're in 110 days right now that they haven't signed.
Yeah, he got this. I know I'm going to be better, or if I'm not better than this, I want this. I think he's looking for somewhere in the. I don't know if Manny Machado is, but I know there's reports on Bryce Harper looking for like a 10-year, $300 million plus deal.
The goal is nowadays to get as many years as possible, right?
Because it gives you security.
Yeah,
it gives you security.
You're going to be playing for. Yeah. You don't even guarantee you that you're playing for 10 years. You just want to make sure you're getting paid for the next 7 at least.
Yeah. Hey, it is whack, but that's what gets me when people are like, oh, when they look at all these other sports, because baseball, I think the average age of a baseball fan, like legit, is from the age of like, I think it's either really late 20s, as in like 28, 29, to mid 30s, all the way up to 60 years old. That's the average age of a fan. And yet these guys are minus, outside of America in what they call football, but soccer, these guys get paid the most.
Yeah.
And it's all, I think it's all guaranteed.
Pretty much.
Somehow, some way. They can retire and they're still getting
best contract of all time.
$2 million years and stuff like that.
Who was that?
Darryl Strawberry.
Yep.
Darryl Strawberry.
Oh my.
Best contract of all time.
Best contract, dude.
Isn't he like still getting paid for
Yes.
that?
Yes.
He pretty much did baseball how what's his name? Charlie Weiss did Notre Dame. Bro. Like it's just how it was.
God, genius, dude.
Genius.
You always know you're gonna have money.
Exactly.
You know who's a genius? Nick Foles' agent.
Oh yeah, he did. He played them. He played the Eagles.
Because he bought out his contract.
Yeah, so he got paid $20 million, which everybody knew because that was the money that he was. You know, it was the Eagles picked the option up to keep Foles.
Right.
And then Foles used $2 million of that to buy his freedom, and then he gets franchise tagged. So he's getting paid twice. So
I'll say that guy's a genius.
that's a oh man, that there's no way that ever happens again.
So now, I think it was episode 1 or 2 where we talked about Nick Foles. So he's going somewhere.
He's
not staying.
No, they're gonna trade him.
I think the report that I read, he's out. He paid his buyout.
That's what I'm saying. He
gave
bought
him
out.
Yeah,
away.
but they're gonna franchise tag him.
Yeah. With the bill of what's costing as a franchise tag, I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know.
They're gonna franchise tag him and then trade him. I think is the goal because they don't want to get nothing for him.
But if that's the goal, are you willing to trade? Let's say, because nobody's gonna give up a first for him, in my eyes, unless you're the Jacksonville Jaguars. In this year where quarterbacks are not your high point, but
You wait it out.
are you giving up, let's say, second, third round plus extra picks
Okay.
and maybe a player for Nick Foles?
Okay.
To hope he pans out because, let's be real, when he did this the first time in Philly and left for Kansas City,
he
was on the verge of retirement.
Yeah, because he hated it. But if you're a team, Jacksonville Jaguars, don't you want him? You're gonna give up for him. Other than that, I mean, what are your options? You're gonna try to get Eli Manning, or you're gonna try to get Case Keenum.
Hey, it's not like Case Keenum's.
I don't think Case Keenum.
He's not a bad pick.
I think he is.
I don't think he's a bad pick. I mean, look what he did in Minnesota last year versus what Kirk Cousins did this year. They did better last year with Case Keenum than they did this year with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
I would rather pursue Keenum than get rid of a high draft pick.
No. And then you're
If I was
drafting a
the Jags?
quarterback.
If I was the Jags?
You're getting rid of a draft pick anyway because you have to draft a quarterback then.
No, because we all know that this year's strength of quarterbacks in the draft isn't that high.
Right.
Right, so you bring in Keenum to try to save you for this year.
You just buy time.
Yeah, you buy time for next year's draft or the year after that because you know there's not.
You only got 3 years because the Jaguars they're a good team. They have a bad quarterback.
And what's going on with Fournette?
He's always hurt.
Not only that he's hurt, but you got old school, who I love as a head coach, that we talked about before we actually hit this off, Tom Coughlin.
Yeah.
You got somebody that's old school like that, and if you remember at the end of the year when Fournette did his little actions that he did, Tom Coughlin pretty much said, hey, we're not tolerating that shit here. And does that put Fournette in a situation to where, like, oh shit, I better perform or I'm getting the fuck out of here? Like,
They're not getting rid of him.
You don't think they would?
No.
A guy that can't stay healthy and a guy that's a cancer in the locker room?
He's not going anywhere. Not this year. He'll be there all season this year.
You don't think that if he keeps it up before the trade deadline, he doesn't get rid of him? If he keeps it up? If he doesn't keep it up, then I don't think he will. But if he keeps it up...
You rarely see trades like that anyway. I mean, unless, let's say, I think Carlos Hyde signed a 2-year deal with Cleveland last year. So, I mean, unless Carlos Hyde
If
and
he starts producing.
unless Carlos Hyde and TJ Yeldon, both outperform what it's like with Leonard Fournette, which I feel like Timmy said might not have him for the fact that Fournette's going to get the reps. I think they end up.
I think it's possible though, because every time Yeldon did play last year when he was hurt, he had great games. He was solid. If you weren't starting Fournette, You were starting Yeldon.
Right, but Fournette didn't get all that bad rep until the end of the year.
Yeah, no.
So that's what I'm saying. So if he continues that,
I think
then you have a guy that can still do good in Yeldon. Carlos Hyde, when he played for San Fran, he was still a 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah.
I mean, they still have the talent to work around. You know, if you get the reps, you work in OTAs. I mean,
I don't know. I think
it's possible.
I mean, yeah, it's possible. I mean, it's impossible for me to say it's not possible.
Is
because
it likely?
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Is it likely? Very unlikely, I think. So
I think it's more likely than you think, but I don't know.
I think
tough to call.
It's a big name. It's hard. You don't ever really see big names move that much. When
Richard Sherman.
Yeah, that was Richard Sherman. That was his choice.
Josh Norman.
I don't think Josh Norman's all that good.
PFF would disagree with you, but
apparently that doesn't matter. So.
Oh, whack!
He was guarding second string wide receivers. So.
Yeah.
Who was?
Josh Norman.
No, he wasn't.
Here we go.
No, he wasn't.
And we're back.
Sure wasn't.
Last year, yeah.
Sure wasn't.
I could bring up at least one video where he covered a second string wide receiver.
At least one video, or we're talking about for the entire duration of the season, Timothy.
I could bring up one video.
Yeah.
I'm just curious on that one video. Who's the second string wide receiver? I'm just curious.
I have no clue.
Oh,
I can
okay.
find it.
I thought he was gonna have a
Timmy's
not on
pulling
the
second
practice
strings
squad.
out of his ass.
It's during preseason. I'm just kidding.
I could definitely find it.
Well, of course.
No balls.
Because nobody plays a position 100% of the time except for a quarterback. Or a lineman.
What about
Not even
the
a lineman.
center?
No, because sometimes centers get moved to guards and
Very
stuff off of
rarely.
injuries. It still happens.
Very rarely.
Still happens. Still happens.
Centers are like...
All right, long
Well,
snappers.
okay, then. Fine,
Long
I got you.
snappers.
Drew Brees going wide receiver? Yeah, I knew you were going there.
Punter.
Punters, they play quarterback.
Yeah.
Don't forget, they're the third string quarterback.
We're not talking about.
Depending on the...
It depends
All
on the
right,
team.
so if
We're not talking about the Madden depth charts here.
That's what I'm saying. Timmy likes to word it and change it to where it's a different meaning, but we know what I meant.
Listen though, if you're out in public and you're a punter, right? Do you introduce yourself as a punter or do you introduce yourself as a third string quarterback of the team?
Third string quarterback.
I
every time.
would say I'm the quarterback.
I'm just gonna go say I'm the fucking kicker. Because punters are the place kickers sometime for the kickoff. So
Yeah. So
I'm just gonna hit him with the I make $20 million a year. What do you do?
Yeah, with the razzle dazzle.
I'm about to start.
Just flex on him real quick.
I'm gonna start kicking where Will watches football at because making $20 million a year as a kicker, it sounds like a good job.
And I'm gonna flex on anybody I can at that point.
Speaking of $20 million, what about the report that came out shortly before they stated that Kaepernick and Reed reached a settlement with the league on their grievance case.
yeah.
Whack.
I believe they said Colin Kaepernick got offered to play in the AAF, and he basically declined him because he wanted $20 million.
Yeah.
Like, I know I've been on the record, obviously not on air saying it probably ever before in my life, but I supported Kaepernick's acts of being a silent protest and all these other things,
Yeah.
and
Yes,
especially
100%.
being me being a military veteran, kneeling before the flag, how some people look at it as disrespectful, but doing it the way he was doing it, no violence, no words being said or anything. But dude, you declined an $18 to $20 million option that was a player option when you were in San Francisco.
Yeah, you declined going to Baltimore
not only that,
as a backup.
Not only that, you declined. Not only did yourself, but you allowed your wife or girlfriend to publicly decline your option of going to Baltimore. And then you personally declined about going to Denver.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that those are great spots to end up in to win a championship or
I
anything
think
like
Denver would
that.
have been at the time.
But
At the time, yeah.
To cry about not getting a job
to
and
cry
the
about
NFL's
not playing
blackballing
in,
you.
yeah, to cry about not playing in the league, or people like Tom Savage have jobs or Nathan Peterman have jobs over you. Yeah, it sucks, but
They accepted their contract.
look what you did to yourself before you look at what anybody has done to you.
Hard facts.
And trying to sue the NFL. Who, if you try to sue Hungry Howie's and then was like, hey, can I get a job app? They're going to be like, yeah, sure, fill this out. No.
You don't know that.
Come on, it's logical and common sense. If you're suing somebody or a place of business, you think that they're going to be like, yeah, sure, yeah, come take a job with us. No, that's where Colin Kaepernick bit himself in the foot is when he decided to sue the NFL.
And then what happens? He settles. So isn't like the point of your case to bring as much attention as possible? So why are you settling? I feel like you're not using the platform that you wanted then.
That's what happens when you run out of money.
That's fair.
True.
That's very fair. But if you run out of money and you just got offered $20 million,
I mean, everybody talks.
Or he wanted $20 million.
Everybody talks about he has the Nike commercial. He doesn't have a Nike shoe.
Yeah.
So.
How much you think you got for that commercial?
He probably got a nice chunk of change, but he was probably also living off of the change that he got when he was in San Francisco. When people will argue this, especially you Michigan State fans or you Ohio State fans and college football critics out there in the world listening. But when you had Jim Harbaugh as your head coach, who is a good quarterback coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a quarterback himself. But you don't have that anymore. So you can't adapt to everything that's going on because you split time with, who was it, Blaine Gabbert?
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys performed the same amount.
Miserably.
Now, it sucked when you break down the stats that identically yourself and Jimmy Garoppolo had the same stats from the 7 games that Garoppolo played and the 7 games that you played that season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks that Garoppolo got a contract worth $107 million. On average, he was making 1 year like 18, 19, and the next year goes to 20. But you had an option to pick up for that $20 million that you want to complain about.
And at the same time, too, so if you put those two stat lines next to each other, that's Garoppolo on the uprise. That's Colin Kaepernick on the decline because when he was making it to the championships and the Super Bowl, he was lighting the league up. He declined and deteriorated quick in the league. That's why he was playing second string behind Blaine Gabbert. Come on, man. Like, you're having a game where you throw more interceptions than you have yards?
Like we all agreed before, though, it's the coach. It's the style of play because he succeeded down in San Francisco where everybody was like, well, damn, he deserves this spot over Alex Smith.
I still wouldn't have given him the spot over Alex Smith.
You go to the Super Bowl.
You
Alex Smith took you to the NFC Championship and got injured.
Not the Super Bowl.
NFC Championship and got injured.
Okay, Kaepernick took him to the NFC Championship and then the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because he didn't get injured.
Tebow?
But things happen.
Tebow's a great quarterback, and
Tebow's a winner.
Tebow's a winner.
I go on the record. He's a winner.
I love Tebow.
Tebow's a winner.
Unless it's against the University of Michigan.
Facts.
Tebow's the greatest college player of all time. We talked about this.
Yeah, we already said that.
So, back on the AFF or AAF.
I want to talk about that.
Did you guys watch any of the games last week?
I didn't even know there was games.
Last week, I watched it. Last week, no, I did not. The week before. Because I remember scrolling through TV, and I was like, holy shit, Steve Spurrier is on the sideline. And they ran a Philly special, actually. But just today, actually, we're still before midnight. No, I watched it, and I seen a guy break his leg on live television.
Yeah. Well, last week, dude, there was a huge hit on this quarterback, right? No flag or anything.
Oh no, that was the first week, bro. That wasn't last week.
Yes, it was.
It was
2-9. I have it up on me right now.
Damn.
My favorite thing though is Not SportsCenter tweeted that hit saying Roger Goodell would have sent you to the electric chair for a hit like that in the NFL. And then some guy in the pro said yard sale, everything must go, helmet, mouthpiece, ball, career, confidence, everything.
God.
That's if you guys watch that after you hear us talking about it, that's the quarterback's fault.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's the quarterback's fault. I mean, his chin strap wasn't on correctly.
100%.
Or if it was on loosely. But what gets me is that a lot of people are talking like, oh my God, like this is, it's perfect. It's football while football's gone. College football and the NFL being the ones that we're talking about. And it's crazy that a lot of people don't understand or know that the NFL actually sponsors this. They're actually playing on NFL Network.
Yeah, it said there's a thing that said, why would you try to work against the NFL knowing that you would fail miserably when you can work with them?
The AAF, in my eyes, to just touch back on when you guys brought up, the Elimination Chamber coming back up, and there was a brief moment where Timmy and I we were all just over talking each other.
Yeah.
The AAF is there just to shut Vince McMahon the fuck up.
True.
Because the XFL is coming out in 2020.
Yep.
And if the AAF stays there, and let's say somebody who's prestigious, like the biggest name that stands out, at least to me, is Trent Richardson in the AAF, because he was a first round pick, fucking top 5 pick at that. Played for the Colts, played for the Browns, and couldn't move the ball for shit.
Couldn't drive a car through a tunnel if he tried.
But the thing is that if he goes off, if he goes off in this league that have,
he's going to.
Yeah, but the thing is, if he goes off in this league and you're going against college players that went unsigned, you're going against practice squad players that didn't end up making the roster, things like that. You're playing against these people who are, in my eyes, at least NFL level talent. Not saying that they're NFL actual talent to actually play on the
I
field.
get what you're saying.
But somebody's going to give them a shot in training camp.
There always is.
Somebody.
Everybody has always knocked the NFL because if you don't make the NFL, you're done.
Pretty much.
In hockey, you're not a NHL level talent. Play in the minors for a long time, right? And then you get your shot again. Baseball, same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not that good. You have people that play in the minors for 10 years and then finally get their shot.
Yeah.
Basketball's got the D League.
Yeah.
But the D
football
League
has nothing. There's quarterbacks. Probably the best quarterback of all time.
Canadian.
Kurt Warner?
No, I'm saying the Canadian Football League.
No, what I'm saying is like
Johnny Manziel sitting here like us, I think.
All right, no. Quick theory though. How awesome would this be? XFL comes in, and then you got the AAF, then you have the CFL. Those three, they all have their championship, and then they have the 3 teams that are all championships, and then they have to do some sort of round robin to figure out who the best team out of those
Flip a
3
coin.
is. Figure out who the best team is there, and then play the worst team in the NFL that year. And then if the worst team in the NFL that year loses, switch them.
I've seen something like that, dude.
That'd be awesome.
How interesting would that be?
It'd be interesting, but let's be real. We have Roger Goodell.
Facts.
I mean, it's true.
Facts.
And then
I think the best thing that Roger Goodell has done as a commissioner, just from a fan perspective, is the commercial from 100 years of NFL.
Oh yeah, I mean, that was,
I think that's the best thing he's ever
commercial.
done.
But,
other than jacking up Mariota's name when he got drafted.
yeah. Did you see that like owners are trying to get the basketball commissioner to do both?
What do you
Well,
mean?
Adam Silver. Yeah, Adam Silver.
Yeah, commissioner for basketball and football?
Yeah.
Because Adam Silver has, I don't know if you guys are familiar with, obviously, commissioners in the league, but Adam Silver succeeded David Stern.
Yeah.
And David Stern was good, and I won't say that he's great because he was also a commissioner during the time that all that shit went down with Michael Jordan and all that jazz. But Adam Silver, I believe, took everything in consideration that David Stern didn't do.
Yeah.
To where I feel Roger Goodell isn't doing the same thing of doing what the past hasn't done.
Yeah.
Or trying to perfect what is going on.
I don't know exactly what his job entails, but
I believe his job only entails, honestly, is to try to keep the sport alive. Honestly, because especially ever since the movie Concussion came out, everything is based around concussions.
True.
And it's killing it. I mean, naturally, it's just killing the sport because at the end of the day, if your mom says you're not doing it, you're not fucking doing it. And that's just how it is. Your dad can sit there and talk, oh, my son's going to play football, or, yeah, good job, son, you're doing good on the field, but Your mom reads one thing or sees one thing she doesn't like. Your dad shutting the fuck up and you're not putting on those pads again. So his job I believe, is just to keep the sport afloat. Because, my opinion, 10 years from now, we're going to be a flag football championship.
And we're all still going to watch.
Of course. I love Matt Stafford throwing the ball. Not getting touched.
No, I mean, concussions are a big deal, but the one thing that really stops the league from getting concussions and figuring out the solution is the players themselves. Players themselves are hurting themselves by not speaking up about concussions, and it's the business side that's really holding everybody back. Because if you come out with a concussion and you have a concussion every other game, they're going to be like, you know what? There's somebody better than you, or just as good as you, cheaper than you. You're gone. We're not paying you no more.
But that's why you have agents. You have agents to go to battle for you. You have agents to fight during those contracts of what type of, medical stability that you're going to have, not only as you're playing, but after you leave. Because generally speaking, as you know, I get a lot of scrutiny because I joined the military. I didn't go to college, and with me going to the military, I chose a route that a lot of other people didn't choose.
Yeah.
And people look at me like, oh, well, John, you got this because you were in the military. No. John got this because John utilized the tools that he got. So when you go into the league and you have an agent, and especially in the league after your rookie contract, and you're going to make that next step up to get what, let's say, these quarterbacks make, or these high-end running backs or cornerbacks, you want to make sure that you have somebody going to bat for you.
Well, of course.
And that's why if you don't have that, that's your fault, because you're given the tools, but you're choosing to go the other route.
Yeah, but like what I'm saying is like, so you remember Pat Anger?
Yeah.
The linebacker for the Colts?
Yeah.
So I was just listening to an interview with him, and he said that he'd play the game Sunday, wake up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, would not remember shutting his alarm clock off, right? And then by Thursday and Friday, he was fine, right? So he's never going to report it. He's like,
no.
Whatever, by Friday I'm fine.
No.
So then it came to this situation one time to where he woke up Friday, and he was like, oh, shit, I don't remember shutting my alarm off today. He's like, hey, I think I'm concussed. I don't remember shutting my alarm off. They're like, oh, what? Yeah, that's bad. Like, how often does this happen? He's like, well, every week. And they're like, what? Like, that should never happen. Yeah. So, like, but this guy, that was a guy that was probably an average linebacker, made a lot of tackles, and was concussed every single week, and never said anything about it. So he's going to get replaced. Yeah, we're not signing to this guy. He's going to have a concussion every single week.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's going to happen because it's almost just as being injury prone. Let's say just rolling your fucking ankle. Look at somebody in a different sport.
Let's not talk about hurting ankles, right?
Look at, I mean, it's not ankles. I meant to say knees, but look at Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
Derrick Rose was...
His career's gone.
He was an MVP.
He's good now.
He was an MVP of the league.
He's coming back.
He was an MVP of the league.
True.
And he was in his early 20s. He blows out his knee, comes back, blows out his other knee.
Comes back and blows out his knee again.
Exactly. And pretty much it's just so nobody's going to give this guy the time or day of a real contract of an NBA player that is, let's just say,
healthy all the time.
Let's just say they're not even going to give him a 6-man contract. But when I say 6-man, I look at somebody like Lou Williams. I look at somebody like, how I feel is who should be one is Eric Gordon. You look at these guys coming off the bench that are providing these sparks, even though Derrick Rose has been killing it this year.
I was saying, are you guys not watching D Rose this year?
He got elected to the All-Star game, but nobody's going to sign him to that contract that he is pursuing with the level of play that he's doing because of his injuries.
Yeah.
The history is going to be behind it. So concussions are just, they're worse than a knee injury because you're obviously still going to be mentally impaired, or you're going to be mentally, fit to
And you never
carry on
know.
in daily life. Maybe not to play that contact sport again, but it's an injury.
Yeah, it's a brain injury.
It's an injury that you signed at the beginning of time when you got that first contract that you know
You're
what's
going to
going to
get
happen. It's going to happen. Some of these things are going to happen. Some of them might not happen to some of these players. Because you look at back in the day, those guys wore leather fucking helmets, bro.
They didn't wear helmets when it started.
Not only that, not to just touch off them wearing leather helmets. You still got motherfuckers out here in Australia playing rugby.
Yeah. Well, AJ Hawk said
It's fun, but do you wear a fucking helmet?
AJ Hawk
But
said
you get tackled.
Fuck it. Bring it on.
Exactly.
Listen, AJ Hawk said that he thinks the solution, or a part of the solution, is to get rid of helmets.
Yeah.
Because he said when he
gonna
was a
avoid
linebacker, his thought was, this guy's bigger than me. I need to bump him off the ball. I'm jamming my head into his chest. So if you don't have a helmet on, you're not jamming your head into their chest anymore.
You're not. You're not.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge person to dig into the concussion thing because I don't really know that. I don't really know a lot of the science behind it. Yeah.
I'm not laughing at concussions. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you are. No, I can't believe you would laugh at somebody's pain like that.
I mean, we all laugh at other people's pain, but that's not what I was laughing at.
Yeah, so,
If it ain't me, it's funny.
all right, we're probably gonna wrap up here. I mean,
Before we wrap
it's on
up,
Saturday.
can I say something real quick?
Oh yeah, we gotta touch up on that.
Just on air.
Oh yeah.
You guys heard 2 weeks ago, Aeryk talked about how he was great in Madden.
I am great, Madden.
Last week, you guys heard me call him out,
Sure did.
and I took care of business. I'm just saying.
I mean, it was a
13-12.
very great game. Very great
Hey,
game.
I'm not saying it was a bad
Very
game. I'm not
intense.
saying it was a great game. I'm just saying that I came in and I
And
took
did
care
what
of
he said he was
business.
gonna do.
I took care of business, and that's and the same thing is that hey, Patriots took care of business every time they won too.
Yeah, well, and then the thing
But-
is, yeah, okay, we're gonna go.
But I will say that I can respectfully say that Aeryk beat me after, which is today, as we were waiting on to kick this off. So we have that third game that we have to play here in the future before the next week's episode.
And I'm gonna smoke John in NHL in that time.
Yeah, you think so?
Let's run it right now. I'm just kidding.
I was like, it was a very close game. Came down to the very last play. I mean,
live tweeted first
Timmy live tweeted it, so it was really good. Final score is 13-12. DeAndre Hopkins scoring the touchdown with no time left.
That was his only catch of the game.
Which means I
John's
spent
only completed pass now.
I spent 59 minutes and 59 seconds stopping this guy from catching the ball.
Yeah.
Hey, but I just want to say, just to shout out not only Aeryk and myself, but shout out to these guys, Will and Timmy, for allowing me to come back on again. Hopefully they bring me on. I can be
He's
a
never
full.
coming back.
Oh, man.
I don't know, man. The seat looks like it's starting to get like a J edge.
Yeah, I mean, it's what happens.
It's all
But,
official. We got him on mic and everything. What's going on?
yeah.
Oh no. Oh, no.
beat the headset. That's for damn sure.
As Aeryk did say, live tweets on Twitter. If you're not following us on Twitter, that's Cut and Dry 2 on Twitter. Go ahead and give us a follow for live
Glad somebody knows
tweets.
that. Because I didn't know.
Not only that, but since you guys now all know, you got a week, so Aeryk and I can scroll through and see these comments. Pretty sure he's not opposed to it because we weren't the first time or the second time. Go ahead, pick our teams. Tell us who you want us to have, and we'll play each other.
Who gets who?
Who gets who?
Yeah, because first matchup it was Carolina, and I was Carolina. You were Houston.
Yep. And the
13-12.
in the second matchup that we played, that's unofficial, but I'll still count it in the books for him.
It's official for us.
I was the Cleveland Browns. He was the Los Angeles Chargers. So you guys can imagine how that went. But
Yeah,
Hey.
yeah. It's,
I'm confident in myself. Eric's confident in himself.
And then another thing, we're going to find out who wins here. If anybody wants to play them, let us know.
yeah, I'm down for that too.
Special guest playing, you know.
Because we got to figure out who is the best in this. And I'll take anybody in NHL too. I know I got
Ricky.
Ricky.
Yep. I'll have to get a hold of Ricky at some point.
I'll have to play him eventually.
Still have to play me though.
You're gonna lose.
Ricky was top.
Literally, I'll put one hand on the controller and beat you.
Hey, man, I'll take that bet.
No,
He said he's gonna.
no, I'm not doing that. No, but I will beat you. It'll probably be somewhere between 7-2 or something like that.
It'll look like a football score.
Trying to project the scores now.
15-2.
I'll pull my goalie in the last 3 minutes.
In the safety.
The first quarter. Or period, I should say. Get back to terminology.
Yeah. So anybody wants to play us? Let us know. We'll play you. We'll beat you.
Cut and Dry on
leaving
YouTube, Cut and Dry 2 on Twitter. Follow our Facebook page. We're still in the works of getting this going, podcasting live on Spotify and iTunes. Just be patient.
I think, you did all that already?
We're slowly working
wait,
on it.
yeah.
I'm trying.
Be patient.
We're just starting. This is episode 4.
Right.
We're turtles, not hares, man.
I
We
mean,
got this.
worst comes to worst, we'll be on there by like 10. worst.
Yeah, I'm just, we all got shit to do, so,
Yeah. 7 days a week, ain't no
But
joke.
one real quick, I wanted to ask this question. It's a really quick, easy answer. You don't have to really go too deep. There's 2 things.
Is this a cliffhanger?
No.
Oh, that would have been
Cliffhangers
great,
are
dude.
incredible, Tim.
You guys are about to answer the question right now.
Shoot.
All right. Would you rather be famously known as an idiot and super rich, or not known at all and be super smart?
I'm taking idiot for 1,000. Idiot for 1,000, Timmy.
That's not being rich, Will.
But it goes with it. It's Jeopardy.
Can I
It's
have you
fine.
repeat that just for 1
All
second,
right,
just
so-
so I can try to find the loophole in it?
You're either smart and not known. Wait, you didn't say
Yeah,
that.
he said
Money-wise, hold
exactly
on.
because I would
Take
rather
your
be
time
smart
out.
and not known, and then I can go make millions of dollars because I'm smart as hell. That's what I was waiting for.
That's my answer.
Okay.
I'm still taking rich.
Yeah,
and
well, that's
idiot.
because you're an idiot,
I'm still gonna be rich.
and I'm gonna be rich and intelligent.
Yeah, that's fine. And,
I don't care if
then
anybody
I'll
knows
find
me.
someone intelligent like you to invest my money in, then I'll still be
And
rich.
Fair
you
enough.
steal it all.
Because I'm smart.
I'm an accountant. I know how this works. So technically,
No, you're an idiot.
But you're an idiot now. You're no longer an accountant.
I can still be an idiot and accountant. It's fine.
You're not my accountant.
Hashtag not true.
Hashtag, I'm pretty much
John,
an
what
idiot.
was your take on that? I mean, kind of filled the loophole in for you, but
Well, I'm already not known, and I feel like I'm the smartest wherever I go. So I'm gonna take the money and run.
Thank you.
I'm just saying, the money if you're super smart and not known,
you're still making that money.
you're making money. If you're super smart,
Yeah, look at Floyd Mayweather. That motherfucker can't read.
Today, Junior.
that guy's a genius. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, hold on. He's back. He's sitting back down.
John was about to leave.
You brought him back.
He is a genius.
That's what you came back for.
He just can't read.
Can't read.
It's not his problem, right?
It is his problem.
It's absolutely
I mean,
his problem.
It's nobody else's problem. It's his problem that he
To be fair,
cannot.
if
He
you get
cannot
punched in the
read.
face, I feel like that's a valid excuse not to be.
I feel like he couldn't
Floyd
read
Mayweather
before he
makes
got
his
punched in
money.
the face.
He makes his money by not getting punched in the face. So
That's
that is
true.
invalid.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
So
Motherfucker look like Barry Sanders out there against Pacquiao.
yeah.
Deuces.